Hello, Williams class. For your English lesson today, we are still looking at instructions. Our learning objective is, can I use imperative verbs to create simple instructions? Now, one of the key features found when writing instructions are imperative verbs. So here is a list, or 5 lists, I would say, of different imperative verbs that you can use in your instruction writing. Imperative verbs are also known as bossy verbs. Now, that is because they tell you what to do. They tell you to run. They tell you to jump. They tell you to put something here or open something there. We put them at the beginning of a sentence, and that changes them, the sentences, into commands, or it changes them into actions that must then be done. Now, what is an imperative verb? An imperative verb is a bossy verb, remember? It makes a sentence bossy. So we're going to use Miss Bossy to help us remember. It gives you an order or a command, and they are direct and they are sharp. So they get straight to the point. For example, an imperative verb would be line up, and the sentences line up for assembly. Another example of an imperative verb in a sentence is turn left at the traffic light. And the final example that we can use is mix the flour and eggs together. Let's just have a read of our text map to make sure that we've really understood it. How to build an empire. Are you interested in building your own empire? Do you lie in your bed dreaming of ruling over a kingdom? Do you see yourself conquering tribes and building a colosseum? If so, the likelihood is that you are destined to be a powerful ruler. Do not despair. Help is at hand. Building an empire is not as hard as you think. Read these step-by-step instructions and soon you too could be the ruler of a powerful empire. What you will need: an army, land, weapons, shields, good walking shoes. What you have to do: first, you should carefully train your army in the art of warfare. Secondly, you must bravely lead an army across the sea to a new land. After that, fiercely invade the land, plundering and murdering those in your way. Now you must make sure that you defeat anyone that tries to stand in your way. Rule over your kingdom proudly. Important note: please remember, in order for your empire to run smoothly, it needs a strong leader. A common issue that these leaders face is the threat of unexpected death. Try your best to avoid this and rule fairly over your people. Otherwise, you may be assassinated. The imperative verbs here would be found in the steps that are given. So here, where it says what you have to do, there is an imperative verb in each sentence. So number 1, first, you should carefully train your army in the art of warfare. The imperative verb there would be train. Number 2, secondly, you must bravely lead an army across the sea to a new land. The imperative verb there would be lead. Number 3, after that, fiercely invade the land, plundering and murdering those in your way. Invade would be the imperative verb. Number 4, now you must make sure that you defeat anyone that tries to stand in your way. Defeat would be the imperative verb. And finally, number 5, rule over your kingdom proudly. So rule would be the imperative verb there. So that is where you would find those verbs. It would be in the steps of your instruction writing. Now, we often find that adverbs follow the imperative verbs given in the sentences, and this allows us to understand how the instruction should be done. So think about what an adverb is. Remember, it helps you to identify what to do with the verb that you're given. So have a look at the text map. Can you find the adverbs in the steps given? What I would like for you to do is put the adverbs that you have found onto Tapestry. Now, what I would like for you to do is to grab a whiteboard, and if you don't have a whiteboard, you can grab a piece of paper and a pencil. You're going to use the imperative verbs that I give you in a set of instructions to do something of your choice. So the imperative verbs are pull, switch, run, and stop. So those are the 4 imperative verbs that I want you to use, and each imperative verb needs its own sentence. And you're going to think of a set of instructions that you could create using those 4 imperative verbs. There's one example here for you, just to give you an example of what I mean by set of instructions. So you have to figure out first what you are instructing the person to do. So here you could instruct somebody to scare their parents. how to scare your parents. First, switch off the lights. Next, stop moving and sit very quietly in the dark. Then pull a scary face when they see you and roar. Finally, run away laughing. So here you can see that for the first instruction, switch has been used. For the second instruction, stop has been used. And then for the final instruction, pull as well as run has been used. So that's what I would like for you to do. Create a set of instructions using those 4 imperative verbs. Post that onto Tapestry and I look really forward to seeing it. Now, when writing instructions, it is also important that we be very clear with our instructions and use of imperative verbs. So you have to make sure that you're writing your instructions in as much detail as possible and that you are making it very clear that it is a command, it is an order. And the only way you can do that is by using those imperative verbs, the verbs that tell us what to do. So let's see what happens when your instructions are not clear. I'm going to give you some instructions now on the next page. And what I would like for you to do is to follow the instructions and see if you can draw what I have drawn. So the set of instructions is for drawing a cat. Do you want to be able to draw a funny cartoon? Follow these instructions to draw a cartoon cat. So I would like for you now to follow my instructions. You will need a pencil and a piece of paper. What you need to do, first, draw a circle, number 2. Then draw another circle below the first one. Number 3, after that, draw 4 legs, then draw a tail. Finally, draw a face on the top circle and add 2 ears and whiskers. So, did yours end up looking like the one that I have drawn? Have a little look-see. Now, it is important that when we are giving instructions, we are specific with each task that we are giving those who are reading the instructions. Because if you're not straightforward, if you're not clear, then they won't know what they are meant to do properly or correctly. Here are your 3 tasks to do for today's lesson. Task number 1, you're going to create a set of instructions about anything, and you're going to be using words from the vocabulary box below. So I will now read out the words that are in the vocabulary box. Eat, switch, jump, cross, cut, bend, boil, mix, rotate, turn, score, take, fold, put, place, make, climb. So any set of instructions, it could be for anything that you want someone to do. Just make sure that you are using those words from the vocabulary box. Task number 2. You're going to edit your instructions if they do not include adverbs. So underline the adverbs in the sentences. So when you have finished writing your set of instructions, you are going to add adverbs. And once you have added those adverbs, you are going to underline them. Task number 3. Create instructions on how to draw something for someone in your house. Are your instructions clear? So you are going to pick something for somebody to draw. You're going to write instructions on how to draw it. So when I gave you instructions on how to draw a cat, similar to that, you choose for somebody to draw a cat also, or you could pick something different for them to draw. And you're going to see what they end up drawing. Now, if the instructions are not clear, then we'll see if that still means that they will draw what you want them to draw. It'll be a very interesting thing to see, I bet. That is all from me for now for your English lesson today, Williams class, and I look really forward to seeing your set of instructions over on Tapestry. I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.